Good morning, everyone. I'm about to leave Fort Stockton, Texas with the 3 cats that I'm driving across the country. If you missed last week's vlog, definitely go watch that one first because that shows me flying out to California, meeting the clients and picking up the cats. And then we drove from there to Phoenix, Arizona for our first night. And then last night was night 2 on the road and we made it here to Fort Stockton, Texas. And then today we're hoping to make it to New Orleans, and then I will have the cats delivered at their new home in Florida by the end of the day tomorrow. I just gave the cats their liquid gabapentin to help keep them calm in the car, and I put my stuff in the car, so now it's time to get them loaded up and we will be on the road. If you guys haven't been following along, I am posting these vlogs every Sunday of 2023 to show you guys what my life is truly like as an award-winning pet sitter and dog walker and as a pet business owner. I mentioned this in the video last week, but this is actually my first time ever driving cats across the country. I've driven many dogs across the country before, but this trip with these cats is kind of a learning experience for me. I did a lot of research before accepting this gig to kind of know the basics on how to keep them happy and healthy and safe. But I'm taking most of my guidance from the cats' owners on this trip. They know their cats and they have made this exact trip with these cats before, so they know what they think would be best. So I'm just taking a lot of guidance from them on this. So I just stopped at a Buc-ee's on the east side of Houston so that I could book a hotel for the night. And my goal was to make it to New Orleans, but I'm not going to make it quite that far. I'm going to call it quits in Baton Rouge for the day, which means that I have about 4 hours left of driving. And I've been sitting here calling hotels and finally found one that would accept me with 3 cats. I literally called over a dozen different hotels in the Baton Rouge area that were all marked as pet friendly online before I found one that would accept cats. We just stopped at a hotel between Baton Rouge and New Orleans. So we did almost 12 hours of driving today, which means that we only have about 9 hours to get to their new home in Florida tomorrow. The drive has been going super smoothly so far. We haven't hit any bad traffic, we haven't hit any bad weather, and the cats are doing really well. I was a little bit nervous to drive cats across the country just because they can be a little bit more finicky than dogs. But, you know, I don't think they love being in the car all day, but they're getting used to it. I can tell that they're doing a little bit better each day, and all is well. One thing that I get questions about every time I post something about doing one of these nationwide pet transportation gigs is the requirements. So I did want to quickly mention in this video that I do have a Class T registration from the USDA. And if you are going to be paid to be transporting animals long distance like this, you do need to get that Class T registration. And it's super easy to get. I mean, anybody can get it. You just fill out one form online. There wasn't even a filing fee. It was a free form. But just so you guys know that there are some requirements to doing gigs like this. All right, it's 5:30 in the morning and we are getting an early start to our last day on the road because I have to deliver the cats and then pick up my rental car in Palm Coast, Florida by 5 p.m. People often ask me how I get these long distance pet transportation clients and how I charge them. So I'll quickly say that I do have long distance pet transportation listed on my website as a service, and I have gotten a client through that. But I get most of these gigs just through word of mouth. Every time I do one of these gigs, I put it on our Instagram and our Facebook, and I also include it in our monthly newsletter that goes out to all of our regular clients. And almost every one of these long distance gigs that I have done has come from people just seeing those social media posts. And as far as how I charge goes, I charge a daily rate that is high enough to account for 24-hour care plus missed wages from the gigs that I would otherwise be doing at home. and I charge for reimbursement for any and all related expenses. So for this gig, for example, there was a high daily rate starting from the time that I left my house in Atlanta to the time that I get home to Atlanta. Plus they paid for my flight to California from Atlanta, and they will also pay for my rental car to get back home to Atlanta from Florida after I drop the cats off. They also paid for the gas to get across the country. They paid for all of the hotels and the related pet fees and stuff that come along with the hotels. And then most clients have me use a rental car, but this time I am actually driving the client's own car. All right, so I have officially delivered the cats in Palm Coast, Florida. This has been my fastest drive ever across the country. I got on the road in Ontario, California at like 3 p.m. on Friday, and it is now 5 p.m. on Monday. So we were booking it. The cats did great on our trip, and I made it to the rental car place here just in time, right before they closed. So now I am going to spend the night here in Florida, and then I'm going to go see my mom tomorrow in northern Florida, and then drive back up to where I live in Atlanta, and this gig will be a wrap. And I know some of you are probably thinking, isn't your business located in Florida? What do you mean Atlanta? And yeah, I actually moved to Atlanta July of last year, and I've been managing my business remotely ever since then. So if you follow along with these weekly vlogs that I'm posting, you'll get a good taste at how I am making all of that work. Oh man, guys, I am exhausted. The last few days have just really taken it out of me. I got home about 7:30 last night, and I was asleep in bed, no joke, by 8:30. So I guess you could just call me Grandpa Doug now. I don't know about you guys, but I always feel just a little bit overwhelmed when I get home from a trip like this. You know, when I'm on the road, driving pets around and just doing any kind of gig like that, I put my all into the pets that I am taking care of. Because, you know, their health and their safety and their happiness is truly my top priority, which means that, you know, for the last few days, I was not reading or replying to any of my emails. I was not looking at Time to Pet. I was not replying to YouTube comments. Any of the normal stuff that I do day to day in my business, I just unplug from all of it. That way I can give the pets that I'm taking care of my all. And it's nice to kind of take a step back from all of those day-to-day activities once in a while. But that means that today and tomorrow, all that stuff that I've missed the past few days will be my top priority. And I also have to go grocery shopping because I don't have any food in the house. I have to return the rental car this afternoon. All kinds of other just little things that kind of fall to the wayside when you're gone for a few days. I also went live on Instagram this morning with Pet Sitters International talking about the things that I wish I would have known before starting my business. So be sure to follow me on Instagram if you don't already, so that you don't miss when I do things like that. It's at Doug the Dog Guy Official on Instagram. I've been on Zoom with Janie Budnick the last couple of hours. We recorded an episode for her podcast, and then we recorded an interview for my YouTube channel. So you guys will have to check those out. She has the Pet Biz Hive podcast, and my episode on there will be going live on February 7th. And then the interview that I did with her for the YouTube channel will be going live next Thursday, which I believe is the 26th. All right, that's all for this week. Be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on these weekly vlogs where I show you what my life is truly like as a pet business owner. I'm Doug the Dog Guy from Bad to the Bone Pet Care. This is Athena, and we are reminding you to stay positive.